Well, it's going to be an interesting kind of game because I'm not sure what kind of read we got out of the Stampeders last week against Toronto. I mean, yeah, they won, but didn't generate an awful lot of points offensively. Yeah, they generated yardage, but the points production were not there. The execution into the green zone was not there. So I think going against Hamilton, I think this will be a better indicator of where this team is at. Give credit to Toronto's defense. That's a great defense. Hamilton's defense is a work in progress. They didn't look so good last week against Winnipeg. So I think this will be a good test for Calgary on both sides of the ball.
How about the O-line? You were impressed by their efforts.
Absolutely, and you know, the funny thing is that O-line was kind of maligned during the preseason by a lot of people, and I guess you'd have to put me in that department as well, wondering exactly what they were capable of, just simply because you lose three players the caliber of Sumpus, Newman, and Pilon, and you wonder where they're going to go from there. But I thought they'd played outstanding against a very good Toronto offensive line and silenced a lot of doubters, quite frankly. Now, and they'll be the first to tell you, it's only 1 week and they got 17 more games to go to do that, but the early returns are very promising.
Some individual players we should be looking at?
Well, it's looking more and more like PK Sam's going to be in the lineup tonight, and that'll be very interesting to see. I thought Jermaine Jackson did a nice job at slot back last week against Toronto, but they have to get a look at PK Sam and see what he's capable of in a game situation. After the trade that brought him from Toronto that sent Jermaine Copeland out east, they had to wonder what he's capable of, especially after missing most of training camp with a hamstring injury. So I think that's a guy really worth watching to see what he's capable of. And then if he does put up a big game tonight, I mean, the Stamps have a decision to make. Obviously, PK Sam, Jermaine Jackson, both very good slot backs in this league. I don't see a way to keep them both on the roster.
Anyone else?
You know, Mike Labinjo is going to be interesting. I thought he had a very solid effort against Toronto. This is interesting because road trips to Ontario have not been kind to Mike Labinjo in the past, in the sense that this is his 4th year in the league. He's only managed to play 1 game in Ontario, and that's of course where he's from. He grew up in Toronto, but he's never played a game in his hometown of Toronto, and that game of course coming up Wednesday. He's only played once in Hamilton, and he's just dying to put together a good game, a good 2 games in this rare road swing through Ontario.
What's the story with Ryan Thelwell?
Well, I guess I think he's going to be highly questionable to play tonight. He didn't practice very much during the week, still suffering from the ankle injury he picked up in the preseason. But I believe he'll be making the trip so that the Stamps have the option of dressing him in Toronto. And you know what? They really want to get him in the lineup, which is no disrespect to the people that have played in his place. But when you got a guy like Ryan Thelwell, who's proven in this league, who's done some amazing things in this league, you want to get him on the field.
Finally, the quick turnaround, game tonight and then on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's going to be a challenge. Obviously, the Stamps will be staying in Ontario. They'll be practicing in Hamilton over the next few days before the Wednesday game. And yeah, there's not a lot of game planning they do. I mean, during the week they've done some thoughts. They've given some thought to Toronto, and it helps, of course, that they only played Toronto last week. So there's not a ton that they can do in between the 2 games. Obviously, I think more than anything, it's a key of getting out of that Hamilton game healthy, and then getting a brisk walk through probably on Tuesday, or I guess Monday, and then they'll have a better idea of where they're at for that game in Toronto.